What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo. What is this? I don't actually know what this is. I know what that is. Flexible sensor. With pins. Oh, that's a Mac valve. Okay. Jeez. Get some weight to it. We got harness stuff. This looks like pins that may or may not be used. This looks like an NTK sensor, which is nice because I need the threads off that guy. I can figure out what bung to get if I do a fancy metal exhaust. Got your harness. Looks like a Elite 25 harness converted to R3. Saved me some money on that one instead of me getting an R5 harness. Just added to that. I don't know. You have to pull that all out, figure out what's what. I'm gonna laugh if I got the wrong injectors or the wrong plugs. They're EV1s, and I got FIC clinic, not connection, just whatever's stock in LS2 since my intake manifold is LS2. Okay, I'll check that now. All right. So this is actually a converted Elite 2500 for R3, and this is a Gen 3 one. So we have drive-by-wire, fuel pump. See, this is from the Elite one. This needs to go to relay as per the instructions, but on the Nexus R3 does not. So tuned by Sean, repinned. I need to touch base with them and figure out if this guy can go directly to my fuel pump or if that actually needs to go through solid state relay. But apparently R3 can put out some amps. I got some random stuff I'm not going to use. Digital pulse output. What do we got here? SPI1. I have to look in the directions what that is. Vehicle speed sensor. I actually don't have one of these since I run a TH350. Just random stuff like that. What do we have? We have stepper motor over there. I'm not sure what you use a stepper motor on. I assume the stepper motor, maybe idle air control or something. I don't know. Seems like something that wouldn't be used on drive-by-wire or just for a different application. Not really sure. We have our coils for coil bank 1 and 2. These guys, I actually have my coils slapped together before LS Fest underneath my up and forwards. So I think I'll need to get some extensions for these guys. I can probably make it off another harness. I think I threw it away, I'm not really sure. Or I'll have to make a junkyard trip. Vehicle speed sensor, map. Here we go, we got a map one. So R3 has map sensor built in. So I don't know if I want to, I'm using an LS2 intake. I don't know if I want to have, you know, a wire, sorry, well, not wire, tubing going from, I don't know if I want to have tubing going from the intake manifold all the way to, you know, the R3 in cabin, or if I just want to spend more money on a map sensor. It's kind of weird. But analog voltage input. We got a ground. We got starter signal. So I could have sworn I saw a pink one that was also, oh no, because I think the pink one is like keyed or something. And then starter signal. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if this is telling the ECU that it's cranking or if this is what's actually cranking. The ECU goes into like wasted spark and whatnot, so it doesn't have to hunt for the camshaft position to figure out when to fire the ignition whatnot on startup. So maybe this like detects when it's cranking and then goes to wasted spark in order to start it up quicker. IATs, alternators. So I actually have, I think it's called a Power Master alternator. I have an alternator with a 1-wire alternator that knows when to excite and when not to excite. So I don't actually need to run any wires to this. I just need my big old wire for it that can handle the alternator amperage. Digital pulse output. See, here's a fuel pressure sensor. I had a transducer I ordered from them. I don't know if I got it. I have to check the box. We have engine coolant temp. It's pretty self-explanatory. Digital pulse output. Throttle. I'm pretty confident that does not go to my throttle body. Let's see. Stand corrected. That looks like it works. I'm talking about with the map sensor. Do I want some adapter that goes in there and then run a line that goes all the way back to the cab, or do I just want to buy a map sensor? I'm trying to do turbo stuff, and the onboard map sensor there can do many bars. I think 3 bars, 3.5 bars, 4 bars. So I don't know if I want to spend another couple $100 just to have slightly cleaner wiring, or if I just want to tuck it away or something. Not really sure. What I was talking about. Alternator was talking about. Yeah, I'll have to depin this pedal and try to figure out which pin does what on the GM connector, and then put it into the HALTECH. We have our fuel injector connectors. We have our knock sensor. I know there's 2 on the original engine, front and back. I think it's 1 oil pressure here. Oh, this is an actual transducer too. This does not go to the factory stuff. I'll have to figure that one out. Yep, just injectors and whatnot. Yeah, I have the stock Valley, and the sensors are there. I just don't have them plugged in or anything, so I have to go probably junkyard hunt for that. So I'll need to make a list here. I ordered my HALTECH stuff by Tuned by Sean. I think I asked him if he was interested in potentially doing DCT stuff, and if he was up for the task. He said yeah, and then I found out that really to run DCT stuff, I'll need that CAN TCU. I've seen a lot of people use the HG TCU and not like it, but the HALTECH stuff is supported on the CAN TCU. But those BMW DCTs, I think the Max ECUs now can run those without having to get a separate TCU. But he was willing to sell me stuff, so I was willing to buy stuff at, you know, a slight discount. But I sent him a picture of injector sizes from Fuel Injector Clinic, and I let him know my goals, which is probably like 900 wheel street driven, what it will stay at, and be able to turn up to 1,000 to 1,100. But that's on E85, and these are 240s. I just sent him a picture. I was like, I want some Fuel Injector Clinic. I don't know what size to get, and then this is the one he got, so the one he decided to sell to me. Man, I don't know about that match. Oh, that's the scaling. That's why it looks so far off. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Probably better than what my fuel system can handle with its pulses and all that stuff. This flex fuel sensor that apparently can read fuel temperature also, which is pretty cool. Mac valve. Some connectors. I believe I'm supposed to have a pressure transducer, and I do not. I need to look at my invoice. Here's the Nexus ECU. I'll get this guy open. I have no idea if that's magnetic or not. Not magnetic. Feels nice though. I don't know if it's composite or what. Also wonder if this is controlling some high amperage stuff. So these are the 4 25 amp outputs, which would be, you know, to my fuel pump. And you know, this loom connects into here. This is for CAN. What is this guy for? What is this guy for? This is, okay, so this is for the 25 amp outputs, I would assume, because this guy goes into over here. So there's that orange and blue. And this is orange or blue. So this is probably, this could probably just run straight on my fuel pump. But yeah, here's the little barb for the map sensor. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll find out. I'll need to CAD up a little mount for this and then put that, weld that to my floorboard. I actually 3D printed my own bulkhead grommet that can fit all of this through. Oh, I won't need this one, but maybe I'll put this inside the cab. And then yeah, I'll need to CAD this guy up. And then get a little stand, bolt it in like that, nice and rigid like, so I'm pulling some G's. Or if I crash, it doesn't go hitting a passenger or something. And then I don't know if I want to run that or not. I'm really not sure. I think I do. Which is going to be really annoying because, like, you know, certain things like VSS and other stuff like that. I probably should have just made a harness, but, you know, it is what it is, you know. But I guess I'll keep going through this box. But yeah, no, how does it, what happens if that, is there a fuse in there? You know, like if I got 25 amp outputs, like, I don't know how that works. Got some, trying to sell me some tools. Got a quick start guide. Here is connector A, connector B, digital pulse outputs. I'll look at that later. I'm assuming this is a USB, maybe a cable. Page up for more power, buddy. There you got your, I don't know how I'm supposed to crimp that. I've got 4 gauge going into the cab right now. Oh, it looks like, what, does this bolt in? It's got like a push button right here. Maybe that's to connect and disconnect. Yeah, I honestly don't get that. Kind of interesting. Some fasteners that I don't really care much about because got a sticker. We got the, for if you want to mount the ECU upside down. Got a lanyard USB and a Wi-Fi cable that is, or Wi-Fi antenna that is now rolling on the floor, so that's cool. What is this guy right here? Another sticker, little sticker, baby sticker. Where's my box? There we go. Yeah, I don't understand how that's supposed to work. It's interesting though. Probably screw that guy on.